Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, this beautiful country, and how we're going to fix both of those things together. The content that I'm going to show you right now is exactly as predicted. We are within 24 hours of Trump announcing Kash Patel as the FBI director, and the deep state, the bureaucratic actors, are losing their collective minds. And of course, the media is lining up to gin up the fear, per usual, and right on target. Everything will be linked in the description box below. Can't wait to hear what you guys think about this one. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on if you want to spread that freedom from border to border and coast to coast. And thank you in advance for that consideration. Now, guys, one of the things that's so crucial you have to understand, the deep state, the bureaucratic state, that's where all the ATF, all this DOJ, all the Second Amendment infringements is originating over the last 4 years that we've been focusing on so tightly. It's all coming from the bureaucratic power base. It's not coming from Congress as much. It's not coming from the executive branch as much. It's being affected by the executive branch through actual order dictation, but the bureaucratic state is what's really happening. That's underneath the executive. So technically, it is the executive branch, but it's not the White House. Some little clarification there. But while we dive into this, you have to understand this is the reason that they're freaking out. The only power base the gun controllers have left and the acolytes on the left have is the bureaucratic deep state. That's why you're about to see this. Now, I'm going to get this all spun up, but this would not be possible without our new sponsor. Welcoming them to the channel, Patriot Mobile. Guys, if you are looking for a partner that can provide the same service but actually support causes you believe in, Patriot Mobile is a good option. You use the code LOA on the link in the description box below. You get a free month for your service for your cell phone. Just saying, guys, right down there. Say a quick word from them, and then we're going to get this going.
In 2024, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment where the call for unity, freedom, and a better future echoes louder than ever. For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been committed to supporting the values that make our nation great. With affordable plans and reliable nationwide coverage on all three of the major networks, Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless service. It's a call to action for those who believe in the American dream. Choose a wireless carrier that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
I mean, you use LOA, you get a free month, guys. It's worth a shot. Oops, sorry, wrong button. Let me get these out of here, and then we will make magic happen. All right.
Of his intentions for the FBI, Kash Patel told us what he wants to do on day one. Let's listen.
I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one and reopening it the next day as a museum of the deep state. And I'd take the 7,000 employees that work in that building and send them across America to chase down criminals. Go be cops.
We're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections. We're going to come after you. Whether it's criminally or civilly, we'll figure that out. But yeah, we're putting you all on notice.
His job requires Senate confirmation. Daniel, any indications that he'll have trouble getting it?
All right. First of all, I just want to draw out some obvious notices there. If you watched our video last night announcing this with the breaking announcement of him being nominated, you would know that we use those exact same clips. We told you. We talked about it. I told you that that was going to be the hitting point, going after the media and the deep state. I told you right there. A couple hours later, sure as anything, they're going to line that up because that's a very big threat to them and their power base. But anyway, let's continue to find out if he's going to get confirmed or not, because remember, he needs 50 plus 1.
Yeah, there is some reminders of the Matt Gaetz nomination, which got scuttled. There's no scandals like that in Kash Patel's background. But I think Republican senators are getting some heartburn this morning because they'll have to either oppose Trump on this, and they don't want to give him a lot of black eyes because they already have to deal with Pete Hegseth. And I think they're probably recalling an episode when Trump tried to put Patel in as head of the FBI, and Bill Barr said, "over my dead body," and blocked it. And so what's interesting about this move is that Trump actually put in the FBI director, Chris Wray. He's Republican, appointed by a Republican, but he is not seen as loyal enough. And it'll be interesting to see if all of that stuff that you quoted, is that just campaign bluster? Is that to rile up his base? Or is it actually he's going to try to go after journalists where he will get a lot of pushback from members of agents of the FBI who that's not their job?
Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on a second. That's not their job. Sorry, I'm just like, you know what, get out of here. It's not their job. That's weird. I can think of a lot of things that weren't their job, which they did for the last 4 years underneath Merrick Garland's direction. That's weird. Christopher Wray, Merrick Garland, that whole thing where they were targeting parents when they go to school board meetings. That whole thing, classifying Second Amendment supporting Americans who believe in their constitutional rights as terrorists. People that look like this. Yeah. But it's not their job, guys. Can't go after journalists, even though they lied and completely made an entire case and lied to the American people to basically undermine the elections. No big deal, though, right? Yeah. All right, let's keep going. I don't want to set up too much camp on that. Let me show you how they're freaking out some more. Representative Jerry Connolly. Connolly. I don't like this guy anyway. Connolly. Kash Patel is a zealot. Out of a sea of unqualified, dangerous, and downright bizarre nominations, this is perhaps the worst. See how that just happened? All of a sudden, this is the worst. It used to be Matt Gaetz. Well, Matt Gaetz got out of the way. No, that's not the worst anymore. Now, Kash Patel's the worst. You guys picking up a theme? Anyone who threatens the executive bureaucratic deep state is the worst. And a sea of unqualified individuals. Anyone who threatens their power is the problem. Not them, not the power base, not the abuse of power from the executive bureaucracies. No. That's fine and normal. It's the people who would dare threaten it. Everything I just showed you in that clip was pretty status quo, pretty normal of a representation of how everyone in America feels by a large majority. Not everybody, but by a large majority. Some people like just tasting the boot of a tyranny on their face. But other than that, anyway, let's continue. We got some more stuff I want to show you. This is a funny one. Breaking, John Bolton calls for the Senate to reject Trump's nomination for FBI Director Kash Patel. There's the stash in himself. Deep state establishment rhino bureaucrat. Yep, shocker. Never Trumper. Didn't see that one coming. Let's go to the next one. This one, former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, this guy, rips into the terrible nomination of Kash Patel for FBI Director. I'm not even going to read it. I'm just letting him talk in his own words. Listen to this. POS. Piece of shiesty. All right, let's get it.
It's a terrible development for the men and women of the FBI and also for the nation that depends on a highly functioning, professional, independent Federal Bureau of Investigation.
You mean the same one that was weaponized against citizens? Disputing how their children were being brainwashed? You mean that one? Yeah, okay.
The fact that Kash Patel is profoundly unqualified for this job is not even like a matter for debate. So I think what we should really be thinking about right now is what does this signal in terms of Donald Trump's intent for the FBI? The installation, or the nomination, I guess we should say at this point, of Kash Patel as FBI director can only possibly be a plan to disrupt, to dismantle, to distract the FBI, and to possibly use it as a tool for the president's political agenda. And, as an organization, we know what that looks like. This country has been there before, right? The pre-Watergate FBI, the J. Edgar Hoover FBI, struck fear in the hearts of Americans across the spectrum of politicians, people in entertainment, people in the civil rights community, because the director operated at the direction of presidents to collect political intelligence and to utilize the legal authorities, the investigative authorities of the FBI to terrorize and intimidate Americans.
I'm just going to pause it real quick from the assistant director of the FBI who did that exact same thing to American parents. Or people like me who are on the internet who are curious if we're going to have anything looked up on us and have political pressure applied to us because of a weaponized DOJ under Merrick Garland, directly hired by President Biden, and then he had ATF Steve Dettelbach. I don't know. I can't think of any other time political pressure was used in the direction of a president. Guys, they are literally accusing Kash Patel and Trump of doing what they've done for the last 4 years to you and I. And that's probably the part that's the grossest. Because they literally are guilty of exactly what they're accusing, which is standard operating procedure for the leftist, deep state, bureaucratic cesspool that it is. They are accusing us, something that hasn't happened yet, of what they have done for the last 4 years to us. Standard operating procedure. You can let me know what you think in the comments field below. But let's continue into this person, this individual, this luminary of freedom has to say.
So the question is that where we're going back to with this nomination? I would argue that Kash Patel would be the perfect person for Donald Trump to nominate if that's in fact his intent for the FBI.
Complete fear mongering and BS. All right, but you know what's ironic about it? Kash Patel is talking about dismantling those very systems of power, and because he wants to go in and dismantle those systems of power, Andrew McCabe, a deep state swamp creature, comes out and goes, "Oh my goodness, he's going to do everything that we're doing, so it's bad." Even though the whole time he's openly stating we're going to destroy it. I don't know. Anyway, just something I noticed. Let me show you some other things they're saying here. Trump taps Kash Patel for FBI director, an ally who would aid in his effort to upend law enforcement. See that right here? This part right here? Upend law enforcement. This is all just propaganda fear-mongering. That's all it is. But it doesn't mean it's going to be less effective and doesn't mean they're going to stop. This came out this morning again, or yesterday morning, excuse me, or goodness gracious, yesterday evening. This is November 30th, okay? President-elect Donald Trump says he will nominate Kash Patel to serve as FBI director, turning to a fierce ally to upend America's premier law enforcement agency and rid the government of perceived conspirators. It's the latest bombshell Trump has thrown at the Washington establishment in a test for how far Senate Republicans will be willing to go for his nominees. They got rid of Matt Gaetz. Now they're going to go to Pete Hegseth. Now they're going to go Kash Patel. This is the open season war. They are going after his nominees. That's exactly what's going to happen. But let's continue because, again, this is all very idiotic. I wonder why they're attacking him. Here's probably part of it. Patel played a pivotal role in uncovering the Russia hoax, standing as an advocate for truth, accountability, and the Constitution. Trump wrote Saturday night in a social media post. Isn't that interesting? That the person who would be able to undermine and understand what exactly happened in all the hoaxes, like people like Adam Schiff propagated, like the media propagated, turned out to be completely false about the Russia hoax. Interesting how they're reacting, isn't it? Let's continue. Patel is a lesser-known figure, but his nomination will still expect to cause shockwaves. He's embraced Trump's rhetoric about a deep state, called for a comprehensive house cleaning of government workers who are disloyal to Trump, and has referred to journalists as traitors, promising to try to prosecute some reporters. See? That's what I was saying. The ginning up the fear-mongering, the clip that I just showed you last night, the one they just reconfirmed in the first CNN clip, it's all about going after the media, going after reporters. If you did something wrong, are you just protected because you're part of the media class? Just saying, they are freaking out. Mark my words, they're freaking out. They're going to keep freaking out too. With a slim majority, Republicans can only lose a few defectors in the face of expected unified Democrat opposition. Though as vice president, J.D. Vance will be able to break any tie votes. So I put this in here so you guys understand what has to be achieved. You have to get 50 Republican senators to vote yes. If they lose 2 or 3, depending on what the final count is, I believe it's 3, then J.D. Vance comes in, pushes to 51, breaks the tie in the Senate as the president of the Senate, and those nominees get through. That's the way that it works. There's going to be immense pressure on the Senate in these next few months. And this is basically saying what Andrew McCabe just said with William Barr saying, "Over my dead body, has no experience," blah, 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 blah. He's called for dramatically reducing the agency's footprint, a perspective that sets him apart from earlier directors who have sought additional resources from the Bureau, and has suggested closing down the Bureau's headquarters in Washington and, quote, reopen it the next day as a museum of the deep state. Trump's pejorative catch-all for the federal bureaucracy. That's it. You want to know why they're freaking out? You want to know why they are sending everything that they can against these nominations? Because their power bases and their own government golden parachutes are threatened. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at the last throes of a deep state, of a political power base and an embedded Washington swamp creatures because they did not stop Trump. He got elected. He has both chambers, and now he's going to be on the warpath. They're trying their very best. This is their last effort. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. See you on the next one.